Yeah, my hiatus is coming to an end, kind of. To be honest with y'all, I wanted to put it out in this video that I'm still going to be posting videos and stuff in May. You'll see me a lot more out and about. And I think the All Balm lady was one of my inspirations, because I need to go out in the community and build more relationships just to see. I know I'll seem like I'm goofing off, just to see where I can start selling my soap. I know my first round of unscented will be cured on exactly Memorial Day weekend. That day, actually Memorial Day. And by the time of this video, I will have made several more batches to be getting ready to sell. That's not what we're here to talk about. I want to give 4 shout outs before we get into the video. I know y'all saw the music. The first is the Solomon Project, where it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep that counts. Remember, he is not giving you financial advice. I'm hoping when I go back on one of his lives in May, because I've been missing a lot this past month. May, maybe June, we can discuss financials and the stuff going on with people making these mean videos about China coming out and exposing the truth about the luxury brands. And since Mr. Burns has a good grip on money, we can get into that, because we can have a pretty good idea of how people were hoodwinked. So if you're looking into stocks and stuff like that, he can point you in the right direction and give guidance, but he's not giving financial advice. Second is my fave, Hook It Up Homestead. I told y'all when I'm giving shout outs, she's going to show up most of the time for the foreseeable future. This is the time where people are exposing who they really are and what they really think about you. They're showing their true colors. So it's in your best interest to grow what you can at your house. So she has small tutorials. She talks about gardening and stuff. And I think based on the few photos I've seen, her garden is impressive. So I invite you all to please go look up Hook It Up Homestead. I see that those subs are also growing. Congratulations. All right, y'all. My next one is Vegan Kings, and I bring up Vegan Kings because Vegan Kings is going to start a, he already got spices, or at least vegan has spices coming out. Y'all, my bad. This cat is gonna meow. Y'all are just gonna have to ignore her, because she'll wait till I'm conveniently recording to start acting up. So, yeah. Vegan Kings, if you're trying to eat vegan, which right now, to be honest, even myself being a meat eater, you're going to have to learn vegan substitutes given what's happening with meat and dairy and eggs. It just is what it is at the end of the day. This is not about me telling you to give those things up. But if we're in a recession, truly right now, no one can directly answer. When the recession's over, those prices aren't going to go down. So for some of your cooking at your house, if not all, you may have to look into a more vegetable alternatives. It just is what it is. Last but it's certainly not least, I'd be wanting to say suddenly, but certainly not least, is Robert Edson. While I don't agree with Robert Edson on telling black people to remove the black owned from their business because our culture is not his culture, I do respect his right to have an opinion about it. Other than that, Robert Edson gives you the practicality of starting a business and also prepping for hard times. I think his channel is a wonderful channel. I recommend him because He gives great advice, and I agree with most of what he says. Again, not all of what he says. So feel free to check him out. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm going to tell y'all something since I've been on this hiatus. I hadn't been feeling well again either. I've been salt planning and doing all of those things. I'm going to be honest, I know this ain't funny, but I've been contemplating this subject and whether I should touch it or on it or not. But it's been going around the internet that my foundational Black Americans have been having a field day. And I've been watching some of the clips. Some are serious. Some just have me burst out laughing. I'm going to be honest, I laughed. There is some humor in this, despite some of the fact that some of it is not humorous. But I know y'all been watching the news. Not going to get into the politics of it all, but China just opened a huge Pandora's box when it revealed what factory was making what luxury goods. But if you're anything like me, let's keep it a buck. We all knew that a lot of that stuff was made in China. Y'all were going out here in streets, particularly FBAs, fighting over Gucci and wanting to wear brands that said that they don't want you wearing them as a status symbol because of their high quality, only to find out that that stuff was being made for way under the price that you pay for it, just not to pay your bills. Y'all know who y'all are. Because some of our FBA women will fill their closet filled with freaking luxury brands to look a certain way and was starving just not to pay your rent, only to find out that the way they made it in China, you still could have paid your rent and bought it. Let me tell y'all something. I don't knock on luxury. If you want to go pay $20,000 for a Birkin bag, I'm not here condemning you, despite the fact that we know that it don't cost that much to make them for real. But here's the thing. Here's where I got started on this years ago, because this is more of a rant. It all started with me not caring for luxury brands when people would go buy Halloween costumes and find notes from people working in factories in China begging Americans to help them, or whatever country got it, saying that they were working hard labor to make those costumes. Because we seem to forget the price that it costs to make our stuff. And look, I'm not telling y'all to walk around feeling bad all day that people had to work in sweatshops, because that's that country's problem and they gotta fix it. But it's still a moral and ethical issue that nonetheless has to be addressed. That's when I did a deep dive and found out that a lot of these brands that you think were making the stuff in their country weren't. Common sense would tell you most of it was made in China. Now some of it's moving to India. Then they'll ship it to that country last minute, knock something off on it and say that it was made in that country of high quality when it really wasn't. If you put a fake Louis and a real Louis in front of me, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Because they were all fake these days to begin with. Quit acting like some people getting on here. Oh my God, I leveled up and I wanted to buy this expensive things to show my level up. And come to find out it cost under this much money. I'm like, y'all knew this. There are people on YouTube that make whole documentaries, or have made whole documentaries exposing the lie that is all this stuff. Then they make these documentaries to go after Shein, and y'all know who that is. I got darn shirts in my closet going back 3 to 4 years ago. One in particular, that's my favorite, from Shein, and I done washed that thing so many times. Oh, it's cheap and falls apart. Could have fooled me, because that shirt is still in good shape. I messed that shirt up more than that shirt messed itself up. Yet some of y'all are getting this so-called quote-unquote high-quality stuff and it's falling apart. I can believe that Louis Vuitton was very much high-end back in the day when Napoleon Bonaparte was buying it, because it had to be made in France. Because we didn't have nearly the globalism now that we had in his time, though it was coming to that, or already getting there under Napoleon Bonaparte. This is my message. Stop the insanity. Now, the clips have been hilarious to me, right? Please tell me if you're one of my subscribers that you had common sense to know that a lot of that stuff was fake and you were being fooled. And don't come at me talking about I'm a hater. I'm not a hater. If you still want to go pay $20,000 for a so-called high quality bag and lie to yourself and say it was made in a different country when it was really made in China, the fact that them folks told y'all that they're going to give you a 10-day visa with hardly any fees and you can go buy what you want, China is trolling the United States. And they're letting you know that the facade that they told you you were putting on was a lie. Y'all had to have known this is a lie, just like your American dream and your meritocracy are all lies. Why do you think I come on here and talk to y'all about building the community? Because the community in this natural life, not the spiritual, in this natural life, is the only truth you have now. Who you build a community with. Not throwing on a $200 t-shirt that was really made for $5 in another country, then coming over here flexing like you did something because you walked in a mall or a high-end store and paid $200 for it. There's a young lady in an Asian country right now that makes high-end bags, and she films herself on YouTube, and you see her leather and stuff, and she makes that bag from scratch. And now people are increasingly lined up to buy her bags. I don't need to ask her no why. I know because they know exactly who it came from. The future is that young woman. All of y'all who are making things handcrafted is the future. This is why when people, oh, Etsy is going downhill and la la la, says who? Not the people who make their stuff from scratch. Pretty sure I could go on Etsy right now and probably find a person who can get my measurements and make me a tailor-made dress that they made and will charge me half of what you were getting paid for the same thing shipped from overseas. What's the shipping and all this? No, that's not the point. You were told that these things were made high-end and you're finding out now it's a lie. And FBAs were lined up like a conga line outside of Gucci. A brand that told you they don't want you wearing their stuff and don't like you. And again, this ain't a knock to people. If you still want to wear Gucci, do your thing. I'm not stopping you. But understand this. It's all smoke and mirrors. Community is all you have. A lot of what you think is real isn't real. Wake up from all your fairy tales. The fairy tale that the bag you carry that's $20,000 is going to make you an even better person. It's not. The fairy tale that working hard is just good enough and that your hard work will get recognized. It won't. They'll just dump more on you, and then the person who works the less and kiss their butt will move up. Knock down your myth of a meritocracy. Okay, a meritocracy is not real. It is an excuse to stifle your growth and for you not to reach your own potential. And you'll say, well, what does that have to do with the fashion? Everything is fake. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all in how you wear that garment and all in how it makes you feel. Going around boasting about how much it costs. I would look at those people and pity them when they buy that stuff to try to make people feel bad. I have empathy for you. Because if you think a $20,000 bag, a $5,000 pair of shoes, and a $3,000 dress make you any better than anyone, it doesn't. When I was overseas in the Navy visiting countries and found out you could get tailor-made things for half the price you get back in the States, I knew for years, and just being in the Navy traveling showed me we were getting played in this country. Before I let you go, I remember one time my husband and I, when we didn't make nearly as much money as we did now, wanted to bless me with a Coach purse. And I walked right out of the store and he's like, well, what did I do wrong? I'm like, I don't need to impress people. And it wasn't about Coach, because those bags were beautiful. They were nice. But my give a crap for all of that is on an extended vacation. I'm just going to keep it real. Wear luxury, wear what you all want. Just understand that when you do it in the mainstream, a whole lot of it, unfortunately, is smoke and mirrors.